Hello Slaters, welcome back to an informative session of EVS. Slaters, in our previous lesson, we learnt about water resources. Water is a very vital component for survival of all the living things. However, in current times, increasing population, excessive wastage and pollution of the water bodies has resulted into scarcity of water in several places around the world. Let's learn and understand the different ways in which water gets polluted and how we can reduce it from our sixth lesson. So Slaters, please turn to page number 105. Ready? Now let's look at the Get Set Go exercise given at the start of the lesson. Look at this picture and answer the questions. Now Slaters, look at the given picture. We can see some people near a river. Let's see what each one is doing. One lady is filling water in her pot. One man is washing his clothes. There are some buffaloes bathing in the river, and we also see one woman dumping trash in the river. Now let's look at the questions. The first one is the river important to the people? Slaters, what do you think? Is the river important? Very good. Rivers and other water bodies are all very important to people. They are the sources of water which we use for drinking, cleaning, washing and watering the plants. Now let's read the second question. Is the river pure and fit for drinking? Slaters, do you all think that we can drink the water from this river? No, not at all. We can see some people washing clothes and dumping waste in the river. We can also see buffaloes bathing in the river. These practices will make the water polluted or dirty and unfit for drinking. Now let's check the third one. Can the people do anything to keep the river water pure? Slaters, how can people achieve that? Very good. People should avoid bathing, washing clothes, bathing of cattle and dumping waste in the river. Avoiding these activities will not pollute the flowing water and will help in keeping the river clean and the water pure. Now let's read further from the textbook. Water is precious. Animals and human beings need water to live. Water is very precious because we have very few freshwater resources on earth. But a lot of the fresh water is being polluted. Slaters, underline the word precious. It means valuable. So Slaters, can you all tell me, why do we say that water is precious? Correct. We call it precious as we cannot live without it. Slaters, if you look at the world map, you will see that around 70% of our planet is covered with water. However, the water bodies like oceans and seas cannot be used for drinking or other uses because of the high salt content. We can only use the freshwater bodies for our purpose. Only around 1/3 of our fresh water is available for us to use. The rest is frozen solid in the form of glaciers, in the snow on high mountain tops, and in the polar ice caps. The fresh water we use comes from the surface water and groundwater. Snow-fed and rain-fed rivers, ponds, and lakes consist of the surface water. The groundwater seeps down into the ground after rainfall in the spaces between rocks and soil to form aquifers. Therefore, this limited water resource that we get to use should be protected from getting polluted. This makes water very precious. We drink water and hydrate our bodies. We also use water for cleaning, bathing, washing, and watering plants. Almost all living things need water for its survival. However, with increased urbanization and population, these water bodies are getting polluted. Humans are the main cause of water pollution. Water pollution happens when harmful substances enter the water bodies like lakes, rivers, oceans, and seas. Some substances get dissolved in the water while others stay suspended in the water. But both of these lead to degradation of the water quality. Let's understand about the different ways in which water is polluted from the textbook. Water pollution. Water gets polluted in many ways. People have a bath, wash clothes and utensils in ponds. The waste and germs from these makes the water dirty. Household waste is dumped into ponds and lakes. This pollutes the water. After a heavy rainfall, chemicals and pesticides used by farmers get washed into the rivers and seas. Excessive use of such chemicals causes groundwater pollution too. In some towns and cities, untreated sewage is let out in the rivers or seas. Some companies and factories release poisonous waste materials into the rivers and seas. Sometimes, huge ships carry oil, cause oil spills in the sea. These oil spills pollute the water and harm marine life. Slaters, underline the word groundwater. Ground, ground, water, water. Groundwater means the rainwater that seeps through the soil and remains stored under the ground. Also underline the word marine. M-A-R-I-N-E. Marine. It means living in seas and oceans. Now Slaters, if you carefully look at all these different ways in which water is polluted, you will see that there is one common factor in all of these. Did you all find that? Correct. Humans. Humans play a major role in causing water pollution. Human activities can affect the quality of our water environment. When people bath in rivers and ponds or wash their clothes and cattle, it results in introduction of various chemicals and dirt inside the water bodies. When farmers fertilize the fields, the chemicals get washed by rain and enter into surface and groundwaters. Discharge of chemicals from various factories into water bodies have been a major contributor to water pollution. Not just the factories, various domestic sources also discharge chemicals. These include soap discharge from our washing machines and dishwashers, which eventually end up in the rivers and oceans. Slaters, you all know that Hyderabad stands on the banks of the Musi River. This river divides the historic old city and the new city of Hyderabad. Musi River is the source of drinking water to the city, but due to frequent discharge of untreated domestic and industrial waste, water has now polluted the Musi River. Today, due to increase in population and industries, water samples of this river shows presence of increased concentration of heavy metals. which can be harmful for animals and humans. Therefore, the government has taken immediate action of cleaning this water body by working on the cleanup plans. Government has also planned to construct sewage treatment plants where the sewage water will be treated and cleaned before discharging it into the river. Slaters, ocean waters often get polluted from the oil spills, which are the results of accidents, human errors and natural disasters. Oil is an important source of energy and is transported in large volumes through ships across the oceans. Oil is found below the ground in the ocean floor, where oil droplets are present inside the holes of the rocks. After drilling down into the ocean and pumping out the crude or unfinished oil, it is transported through pipes, ships or trains to the refineries. Oil spills can happen anywhere and can cause harm to ocean plants, animals and habitats found here. The toxic compounds or substance can kill the sea animals. Furthermore, a layer of oil can lead to choking the entire coral reefs. In India, the oil spill that occurred in Chennai in 2017 caused direct and indirect effects on the marine life. Turtles, fish and prawns were found coated in oil and most of them were found dead on the beaches. Let's read about the impact of water pollution from the textbook. Harmful effects of water pollution. Polluted water is harmful to all living things. It makes water unfit for use by both animals and human beings. Drinking polluted water can cause diseases such as cholera, dysentery and diarrhea. Pollutants in the water kill fish and other aquatic plants and animals. Slaters, underline the word pollutants. P-O-L-L-U-T-A-N-T-S, pollutants. It means substances that pollute something. Also underline the word cholera, dysentery and diarrhea. So slaters, when a water body gets polluted by entry of garbage, waste, chemicals and other materials, it becomes unfit for consumption by humans. This water often carries germs which cause various diseases. Some of the waterborne diseases or diseases caused by drinking polluted water are typhoid, dysentery and diarrhea. The polluted water is also very harmful for the aquatic plants, animals and their entire habitat. Now slaters, we know that we all get water in our homes. The water that we get is from these freshwater reservoirs. However, these are still not fit for us to drink. It is purified before it reaches to our homes. Let's read about this from the textbook. Slaters, please turn to page number 106. Ready? Purification of water. We get drinking water from rivers, lakes, reservoirs and so on. The water from these water bodies needs to be purified before we can drink it. Water that is suitable for drinking is called potable water. Slaters, underline the word purification. 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 It means the process of removing contaminants or pollutants from something. Underline the word potable. P-O-T-A-B-L-E, potable. It means safe to drink. Also underline the word reservoirs. R-E-S-E-R-V-O-I-R-S, reservoirs. It means a large natural or artificial lake which is used as source of water supply. For example, lakes, ponds or rivers. So slaters, before we get the water that we use in our homes, it undergoes a process of purification. Let's understand about this process of purification from the textbook. Water from rivers, lakes or reservoirs is brought through channels to a water treatment plant. Here, the water is first filtered to remove the solid impurities. It is then treated with chemicals to kill the germs in it. Purified water is then pumped into huge water tanks in each locality. Water from those tanks reaches our house through a network of pipes. Even this purified water may get contaminated on the way, as the pipes get rusted or develop leaks. Therefore, people boil water or use water purifiers to purify drinking water. Slaters, underline the word rusted. R-U-S-T-E-D, rusted. It means the red or orange coating that forms on the surface of iron metal when it is exposed to air and moisture. Now slaters, if you fill up a glass of water from any natural reservoirs like a lake or a pond, you will see that the water is not clear. This is the indication that the water is contaminated or polluted. It contains big solid impurities like leaves, stones and gravel. Furthermore, when we take a drop of water and see it under the microscope, we will see that it contains millions, billions and trillions of tiny creatures or bacteria. So, the task of the water treatment plant is to remove all of these contaminants from this water and provide us with clean water. Now, in order to do this, they first collect water from lake, pond or river. Is first brought to the water treatment plant. Here, first the visible solid impurities are removed. This is done by a very easy method called filtration. You all must have seen your mothers filtering the tea leaves from the tea in a cup, isn't it? In the same way, the solid impurities pass through a sieve or a filter and separates it from the water. Next, they tackle the germs inside the water. Now slaters, there are certain chemicals which kill these germs. Some of the common chemicals used in the water treatment plants include chlorine, chlorine dioxide. Once the water is treated with these chemicals, it is pumped into a huge water tank present in every locality. From this water tank, it reaches to our homes through a network of pipes. Amazing, isn't it, slaters? Did you all ever realize earlier that it takes so many steps for all of you to get water that you use at home? But slaters, at times the network of pipes through which we get the water can get rusted, worn out and sometimes start to leak too. This can again lead to mild contamination of water. Therefore, we boil water or use water filters before using this water for drinking. Now slaters, apart from boiling water and using water filters, There are other practices too which can help us in keeping our water clean and free from contamination. These simple practices ensure that we drink clean water and stay healthy. Let's read about these simple things that we should practice from the textbook. Keep drinking water clean. We can do some simple things to keep drinking water clean. Vessels containing drinking water should always be kept covered. Otherwise, dust particles or insects may fall into it. Do not drink water that has been stored for a long time, as it may contain germs. Use it to water plants. Always use a cup with a long handle when taking out drinking water from a pot, so that your fingers do not touch the water. So slaters, as mentioned in the textbook, using clean containers for storing water and covering them is very important. If we keep the vessels containing water uncovered, then it can get contaminated again. Unhygienic handling of water by dipping our hands can also lead to contamination of water. We should not dip our hands in drinking water containers, as the dirt on our hands can enter the water. We should instead use a cup with long handle or a water ladle to draw out the drinking water from the container. Now slaters, can you all tell me, if you see someone polluting the water bodies around the place where you live, what will you do? Will you ignore it? Or you will inform the authorities about it? Good. Slaters, we should always raise our voice if we see someone polluting our natural resources. One voice can become the voice of many when it comes to conserving our natural wealth. Let's read about a true story related to this from the textbook. A true story. Plachimada is a small village in Kerala. The villagers living there discovered that the water levels in the reservoirs and wells had gone down a lot. There was not enough water for their everyday needs. The water shortage was caused by a soft drink manufacturing company. The company was drawing millions of liters of underground water. The villagers protested. They complained the panchayat which supported them. They took the company to court. They had a ruling in their favor and the company had to close down the factory. Slaters, underline the word protested. 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 It means to express an objection of what is being said or done. Underline the word panchayat. 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 It means a village council which consists of 5 elderly and wise people chosen by the villagers. So slaters, did you all see how the villagers of Plachimada conserved their natural water resource by protesting and raising a complaint? The village council, called the panchayat, also supported the villagers and the matter was taken to the court of law. The court came out with a very wise decision of closing down the factory and thereby supported the villagers in conserving their natural reserve of water. Slaters, in the same way, we all should be doing our bit in conserving our natural resources. So slaters, with this we end our 6th lesson. Now let's work on the textbook exercise and check our understanding of the lesson. But before we get into that, let's read the Did You Know section from the textbook. Slaters, please turn to page number 106. Did you know? Due to high levels of water pollution, aquatic animals face a greater threat of extinction than land animals. So, Slaters, we know that many animals and plant species are getting extinct from our planet. This can be due to natural or man-made reasons. Slaters, we know that there are many animal species or types of animals that are slowly dying and getting wiped out from our planet. This is called extinction. Now, with increasing water pollution like discharge of harmful and poisonous material in the water bodies, oil spills and dumping of plastic waste into the water bodies has resulted in death of aquatic animals. Therefore, aquatic animals are facing a greater threat of extinction. Several aquatic fish like Catarina pupfish, cunning silver sid, and many more aquatic animals are extinct now due to water pollution and loss of habitat. Therefore, we all should be more careful and do our best to reduce the amounts of water pollution. So, Slaters, with this we will end our today's session. I am sure you all must have understood the different ways in which we humans pollute our environment. Slaters, I would like you all to read the lesson once, go through the meanings and practice the spellings of the new words. I will meet you all in the next session. Till then, keep learning, dear Slaters. Thank you.